As a Black American that come from a family of, I guess, Nigerians, I think
Y'all heard this? Look, I usually let it play. This 3 minutes though. Did y'all just hear what the bitch said?
as a Black American that come from a family of, I guess, Nigerians, as a Black American that come from a family of, I guess, Nigerians,
That ain't the biggest definition of a tether. Then I don't know what is.
I think non-Black Americans, so Africans, I think they get frustrated with African Americans.
So you, not she talking about herself, by the way. You see how she's trying to insert herself into us? She said as a Black American, but then she said non-Black American, but African. You mean you? What you mean? She trying to insert herself into our.
Non-Black Americans, so Africans, I think they get frustrated with African Americans because
So she said she's a Black American, but then called us African Americans. Did you notice that? Listen to the words that she's saying. So she's talking about the Africans being upset with the African Americans, which is us, but then she called herself a Black American. Again, if that's not the biggest, example of a tether, I don't know what is.
there is acknowledgement of our history as the Black Americans, but don't, we're not as passionate about it, perhaps, as non-Black Americans. Like, for instance, Ancestry. You ever came across a Black American that did Ancestry, the ancestryheritage.com or whatever the case may be? They find out that they're fucking Irish and they want to dig a little further into it. And then, like,
You talking about DNA, which that stuff is not real. It says in the fine print that it's for entertainment. So you talking about your DNA, unless you talking about your genealogy. But it sounds like DNA she talking about.
they got other people in their family who is dismissing, negating the idea of them being Irish because it just doesn't make sense for them.
Who has ever thought in a Black America that our lineage didn't have any European ancestry in it? Has anybody in here? It's 80 people in here watching. Has any of y'all, like, did any of y'all? I mean, some people might not, but most Black Americans have European. What do you mean we didn't know or we were surprised? We not surprised. We know that a lot of us have European ancestry in us through doing our genealogy and understanding who our grandparents and great 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 grandparents were. What is you talking about? That's not a new thing. The bitch said, she just said, like, not knowing or being surprised. What the bitch say?
Who is dismissing, negating the idea of them being Irish because it just doesn't make sense for them.
Yeah, it does make sense. We understand our history. We understand that a lot of slaves was having sex with slave masters. A lot of people in history was having sex with white people. So people procreated. And then sometimes those people who are biracial had sex with other Black people. So during the lineage and down the time and time to time, it creates people having different skin colors and created our ethnic group, which is ethnogenesis, which is us being Black American. But we understand that that's not new history. What you mean it don't make sense? It do make sense. We not confused by that.
It's just not familiar, so it just doesn't make sense. It got to be a scam. It's wrong. They don't even want to reflect on it. And then you got your great grandma who do indeed confirm that y'all was indeed Irish. She break it down, and you're very excited about your history. You want to know more. And now you found your family in a whole nother country, and this led to a whole nother nation, and they're Irish, but they're actually African. And how did this happen? And you just curious. It's history. You just curious.
Wait, she said your family is a whole nother country. So I'm assuming she's talking about Ireland. If you got the Irish, and then she said they're Irish, but then they're African. What do you mean they're Irish, but then they're African? So the Africans was in Ireland, and then the people from Ireland came over to America. What are you talking about? Y'all peeping what she's saying, right? Y'all peeping me like break down the stuff that she's saying and how it's not making sense. That's why I keep pausing, because it's not making sense what she's saying. Listen to her.
But they're actually African, and how did this happen? And you just led to a whole nother nation, and they're Irish, but they're actually African, and how did this happen? And you just curious. It's history. You're just curious. But you always come across like people who are like very comfortable being African American. They don't want to hear that dumb shit. And I think that's why Africans don't really give a fuck about Black Americans. That's my opinion. It's not something I'm trying to debate. It's just something I'm really gathering. Like, you cannot sometimes get a Black American to, I mean, they literally don't even want to hear you say
Notice how she said, now she's saying they. So now she's making a separation, but from the jump, she said that she was one of us. Now she's making a separation. I'm peeping all of this stuff, bro. It's tether babble.
To I mean it they literally don't even want to hear you say grand rising. What does that have to do? Because y'all don't like anything that stems from like, I want to say like a natural origin. Like somebody talk about African spirituality, and because like you're Christian or you just simply don't connect with African spirituality, like you don't even care to want to know what the fuck I'm actually speaking to, like referring to. Like it's crazy.
So would that logic apply to the Africans that are Christian or the Africans that are Muslim? Would the logic apply to them too? Just curious. The Africans in Africa. Half Nigerians is Muslims. All East Africa, damn near all Muslims. What are you talking about? Does the logic apply to them too? Are they anti-African? They don't want to know their real African descent because it's all about African spiritual. What are you talking about? This bitch trying to tie in. What is this bitch talking about, man?
I think that's
What?
what becomes very frustrating about shit. Very frustrating. Like, yeah, we know that you were born in fucking Minnesota and in fucking Virginia. We know that you're from Bodymore. We get it. We know that your great grandma was from fucking Bodymore and she went to goddamn Robertson fucking high school. We get it. But why are you very so quick to dismiss the idea that you have ancestors that passed away that came from Africa?
Nobody's quickly dismissing that. Not in mass. Most Black Americans know we are we had an ethnogenesis, and we are a mix of some of the small percentage of Africans who came here, and American indigenous people and the Europeans who were here. Most of us say that. You got some people that's, they completely, I'm from all the tribes and I'm 100% Native American, which I don't know how your ethnic group wouldn't have mixed in with the other ethnic groups, I guess, and that's fine. But most of us don't denounce that. Most of us understand that there was an ethnogenesis that came here. What we do bring up and we do talk about is, you're not about to call us African, because if you're going to call us African, then you would have to also call us European. And if you're going to call us that, then you would actually have to call us American indigenous people as well, because we are an ethnogenesis of all of those connected into one. So just because, and then we understand that a very small percentage of Africans came over to America. The majority of them never came to America. What was it, like 100,000 people, maybe 200,000 that came to America? Fact check me on that, chat. But it could be less than that, honestly. So what we do is we understand we understand our own history. See, you're taught, and this woman here, and this is what I was talking about the other day. These people don't respect us in the sense to really hear us out when we tell them what our history is. They so indoctrinated to believe that everything that's right about us has to come from white folks. No disrespect to white people. All y'all don't operate like this, but it's the colonizer mindset that some white people have. And it's the indoctrinated and the slave mentality that people like this have, where, and slave don't mean black people. Slave doesn't mean anybody. Slave comes from Slavic people, but which are white. The point that I'm making is, she is one of those people that believe the only time that she can be told the truth is if it comes from a white American person. A white American Anglo has to tell her the truth. And that comes from growing up in America and just thinking that they're God. That's their God. That's her God. That's her God. That's what she believes in. She may not believe in religion, right? But she may not believe in the whole white Jesus thing. But 300,000, I think it was less than that. But for sure, Maya, I think it's probably less than that. And that's probably at the high end. You know what I'm saying? But Soraya, thank you for the $20 donation. Shout out to Soraya for the $20 donation. I appreciate you. First gift for the day. Let me add that to the thing. Hold on real quick. I think I forgot to do it on the side. Hold on real quick, y'all. I got the on the thing now, so real quick. Okay. Soraya, thank you for the donut. I appreciate you, love. Shout out to Soraya. Thank you, sweetie. But what is you talking about? So they only feel as though their history can come from our history, or anybody else's history got to come from the people that they view as in charge of them. That's real indoctrination right there. And that's why I say all the time, bro, it's like it gets to a point where you become a broken record when you explaining the same shit to the same people over and over and over again. That's why I don't even be talking. I just react to the videos at this point. I don't even like. I know, like, bro. People be asking me, and it's nothing against y'all. I actually like that y'all, y'all respect my opinion enough for me to start to do this. But people be wanting me to, hey man, you need to go make this video talking about this and respond to this video. Bro, I'd rather just do my reaction on live and talk to y'all, man, because there's so many people that it's a broken record at this point, bro. It's a broken record. Like you're not gonna get these people to really respect us in our history because they already look at us they look at themselves because they insecure. They look at themselves as a downtrodden people, and they look at us as from a jealousy perspective. You know what I'm saying? So the only way that they feel like they can get it over, like get over on us, or the only way that they feel like they can feel better than us is if they denounce everything that we tell them about our history. They got to look at the people above and be like, well, the white boy didn't say that, so that must not be true. They got to look at the people above. It just is what it is. So I don't even care to keep saying the same shit. Now, I had a conversation with a Haitian dude, and that was one of the best conversations I had with somebody that was a non-tether, by the way, and it's live on my channel. Y'all go type in CEO Haitian caller or something. It should come up. I respect dude. People like that I can have a conversation with. And again, go to the search box, type in CEO Haitian caller. It'll come up. You will see me and we had a great conversation. It was 2 videos. It was part 1 and part 2. Make sure y'all watch it in chronological order. But great conversation. People like that I can tap in with. I could talk to. You feel me? But it's just like this who's saying all this shit in the last, like it's like you can't really, or whoever, you know what I'm saying? You can't really reason with them. I fuck with the non-tethers, but I can't reason with you tethers, man. I just say shit like this because there's no point. Y'all already fucked up. Y'all made y'all mind up a long time ago. These people made their mind up before they even came here because they was being told. First of all, because the media get pushed and people like Mona Leo, that little dumb exist. So, but the media in general push just degeneracy in our culture. They push the bottom of the barrel and make that as the norm. So they already got a perspective about us that's untrue. But then they being told by their parents, they being told by their uncles, aunts, grandparents that to not deal with us when they come over here. You know what's crazy? A lot of them are told not to deal with us and not to fuck with us when they come over here. Do Black Americans, I'm asking y'all in the chat, do we have a history of like our parents and grandparents telling us not to fuck with the Africans? Just think about that. We don't have a history. Our parents and my mom ain't never told me not to fuck with the Africans. We never even had conversations like that, ever. Because it's already like because my mother is she's more on the Democratic side, but my mother look at it like on some, kumbaya type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I disagree with her on that, but it's like we don't come at them with this like negativity from the jump. They come at us with this negativity from the jump. The only reason why where we at now is because we was like this the whole time, my nigga. Open arms. And as soon as we turned our back, boom, stabbed in the back. So at this point, it's like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is suspected tether to me until you prove me otherwise. It just is what it is because it's too much. And then y'all don't call each other out. And then shit like that, this exists. We've been telling y'all the same shit for years. And it ain't me. When I say me, I ain't even got the fatigue that y'all got because a lot of y'all older than me. So y'all been dealing with it, especially the people that live in cities where it's a lot of immigrants and shit. Like if you from New York, Florida, DC, the whole DMV area, you know what I'm saying? Like over there by LA, Cali and shit, like, or Houston. If you in a place where it's a lot of immigrants and shit, I'm from the Midwest, we don't got that many immigrants in the obviously it's some, but we don't got the immigrants that y'all got. Y'all deal with this shit way more than I deal with shit or have dealt with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, this ain't finna keep telling y'all the same thing over and over again. Eat a dick, nigga. Let's keep going though.
We as African Americans, we're so fucking lit that we should at least be able to dive a little deeper into that heritage. This is America. America is self. I mean, white American, Black American, Asian American, like we will go against another country and talk about how America is lit. This is like really a fact. There's no need to get so easily worked up because you should want to know more about like your heritage from Africa. I don't know. Like, am I saying something that's like really sorry?
This bitch in the middle of this bitch such an idiot. When she questioned herself, the bitch apologized and said, I don't know, sorry. Like she's so fucking lost in the sauce, don't even know what she's talking about. But how can you tell the people who have our own distinct lineage here, who've been here longer than 1619, what they say. That's what they say. They say that that would start, but being here longer than all of that, how can you tell these people our history? This is my thing, bro. This shit only operates with us. They don't tell Jamaicans this. They don't tell Caribbeans in general this. They don't tell people from South America when most of the people that came over from Africa went to South America. They went to Brazil. They don't tell Brazilians this. This never make a video talking about Brazilians, telling Brazilians they're not Brazilian. They're actually African and they need to accept their African DNA and their African history. They only tell it to us. They don't tell it to nobody else, man. Nobody. It only get told to Black Americans. If that don't tell you that, if that doesn't tell you that this is like a thing where it's some truth into what all of the shit that we say, it's nothing else will, because the energy only goes towards us. Only. I've never seen any of these say nothing about none of these other places. I don't think I've ever seen a person go hard on, like, I'm talking about in my experience of just seeing what I be seeing. We get attacked for no reason. Exactly, Squid. We just be chilling. I don't think ever in my 27 years of living, have I ever seen a video of any of these people that come at us have the same energy for them. Ever. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. They never call out the Jamaicans for being, hey, you're not really Jamaican for real. That's not really your real history. Your real history, like Bob Marley, all him, that come from Africa. All that reggae music, all that Rastafari, nope, that's all African culture. They'd never tell them people that. They'd never tell the Haitians about any of their culture. No, that's all really African culture. They'll never say that to the Dominicans. They'll never say that to the Brazilians. They'll never say that to none of these other people. It's only us. And you know why? Because it's jealousy, man. It's jealousy. They don't do it to these other cultures and these other people because they don't have a popping enough culture. No disrespect. Y'all culture don't pop, and nor is it in the limelight the way ours is. Our history. We got the history of fighting back against depression. We got the history of creativity and intellectual property and music, food, sports. We are the epicenter of everything. Literally. We the epicenter of everything. We cultivated everything. And we made a place where all these people can exist and live. So it's jealousy, man. It's jealousy. Black American women. You ever walked into a beauty salon or somewhere where it was a whole bunch of people that wasn't you? Even if it was some Latino women, you walked in there, you could just get them looks. I know y'all have. Shit, I live around a whole bunch of Latinos, man. I be walking into certain restaurants and shit, I be getting looks like. It's jealousy because the energy, they feel it. You know what I'm saying? They feel the way that I move, the way that I walk, the way that I talk, the way I assert myself, the way that I operate, the way that I present myself as a man. It's jealousy. He comes from that. Oh wow. I don't want him dealing with our women. I don't want him, you know what I'm saying? I'm not around a lot of Africans, so I don't know how it is if y'all live in places like I said, Houston, DC, Florida, New York, but I can only imagine. So it's like the energy only go towards us because it's pure jealousy. Pure jealousy. And that's why they love to bring up the degenerate and the worst parts of us all day long to act like that's the norm so they can feel better than us. This is why they get over here, and I'm talking about the tethers, not all Africans and Caribbeans. Again, I know some cool ones. This is why they do what they do, and they bring up our degenerate and our worst parts of us because that's the only way that they can feel better about themselves and the fact that they come from a bottom of the barrel culture and they had to flee to come over here. Not to mention, this is why they accept them. This is why they try to get the acceptance from a lot of the white folks. You know what I'm saying? They try to get acceptance really, really bad. They go real hard on and being in the far right. They come over to America. They want to be these super staunch Republicans and shit. They go real hard. Because they want to feel accepted. They want to feel better about themselves. I'm not like those blacks. I'm a black that comes from Africa and I did this, or I come from here. That's the whole reason. It's all jealousy. They don't even believing what they say, man. Either they do that, or they do the other side where they just become the full tether, where they just act like us. Like this bitch in the video talking about as a Black American, whatever the bitch was saying, and then separated it. She didn't even know she separated because she's a fucking idiot. She don't even understand. She rolling over her words. They do that too, but then underlying, they'll use our culture, attach themselves to us, act like us, but then underlying, they feel how they feel regardless. They still got the negative, feelings towards us.